Hey everyone, and welcome to a slightly different modding showcase video. Instead of taking a long look at one dinosaur mod, we're going to be looking at 5 smaller ones today. Starting off with the Magna Gecko from Cyrus Critters. This, as you can see, is an adorable little tiny companion that you can have on your shoulder. This, I do believe, can spawn in basically any colour whatsoever. I think they have the entire colour palette for their 3 regions. Or actually 4 if you count the eyes as well. And these are a passive tame, which, as you can see, requires mashed up bugs to tame. Mashed up bugs is obtainable at level 12, so that's an early game, and it requires chitin, rare flowers, measure berries, and raw meat. So very simple. Go ahead and give you a little passive. Oh! Okay, good to know. So, wow. This was a 150 on just regular ×1 taming single player. So I wasn't expecting that just to instantly tame it, but there you go then. You can also passive tame these with berries, but berries will take significantly longer. But once it's tamed, you can then just give it berries or the mashed bugs to eat. And otherwise, we got ourselves a little pet. Oh no, it is absolutely precious. I just love the way it clings on like that. I do love that Cyrus went for like a kind of an almost chubbier type of gecko. I know some geckos can be quite chubby, but for ARK, it's such a nice, interesting contrast compared to, you know, the big burly dinosaurs we get all over the place. And like I said, they can spawn in all sorts of different colours. I have seen these spawn pretty much everywhere on the island, primarily around beaches, but pretty much everywhere. So, as for what they actually do, first of all, we hold R, we can open up the inventory just like any other shoulder pet, and it actually has weight reduction. A significant weight reduction, so this is 1.9, now 0.7. This torch is down to 0.3. This long neck down to 0.3. Yeah, so it's got massive weight reduction. Seems to be more than regular shoulder pets would normally have, so that's very quite handy. And a cool thing that you'll notice, both the tamed one and when you come across Magna Geckos in the wild, is that when they reach 50% HP, so if they're getting attacked and they get damaged down to 50% HP, they will cut off their tails. And you can also do that yourself. So there you go, just decapitated the poor thing's tail straight off. And this basically works as giant bee honey. So it's got a 10-minute spawn time and it literally is like honey. So let me just quickly, it looks like a frog. Don't worry, as you can see, it does grow back. I believe it's a 10-minute cooldown, so you can do this every 10 minutes. And as you can see, it's happily growing back. So, if I were to chuck that down, is there anything scary nearby I can give that a go with? There's some raptors over there. So I am assuming that just like giant bee honey, if I just put it in my bars and throw it, yeah, there you go, it just lobs on the ground, and those raptors, well, they're supposed to go for it. Bad demonstration, but that is the intention of that ability. Oh god. I think it's because I got too close and the raptor's already aggroed. My point being, though, is that the tail can be used to distract wild creatures, and that is especially good for trapping and taming. Although it does seem like the tail's actually gone. Oh, maybe they actually did eat it then. It was 3 of them, so I guess they ate it and they were just very, very angry regardless. So for our next one, we have Clay's Trike edit. This is a sort of light TLC. Now, the inspiration that Clay had for making this light TLC was that while fighting a Rex of the Triceratops, he was impressed by the fact that a Trike in ARK can actually take on a Rex. And it just looks so wimpy for it. I think we can all agree, right, that as far as Triceratopses go, the ARK one, it's cool, but it just doesn't feel quite right. It does feel a bit small and a bit, you know, passive or just kind of weak compared to other creatures. So Clay has made a slightly larger one with much more pronounced archified horns, although the rest of its crest is a lot smaller. The horns are much larger. The proportional edits is overall just a much bigger, even slightly taller creature, along with some, hold on, saddle edits as well, as we can see right there. Inverted colours and some nice little embossing on the straps there. And otherwise, oh, and you might notice the eyes. The eyes are a temporary issue because of Scorched Earth launching. It did muck up the texture on a few creatures. This is going to get fixed. Clay's away and is going to fix the eyes. But otherwise, this is meant to be the bull trike of regular herds of trikes that you may come across. So the bull ones will spawn primarily in the grasslands and even in the redwoods, and you can find them alongside the vanilla ones, which will also still be spawning. This is not a big overhaul TLC, it is a light TLC. And with it being a bigger, scarier bull version, basically it's just got a bit more HP, a bit more damage. In fact, we'll do a quick little comparison here. So 3.6k health on the vanilla one, 8.9k health on the bull version. Now, it is worth mentioning that as far as ARK dinosaurs go, the general scaling and power balance for the Rex is actually kind of busted and does give modders a bit of a hard time balancing their creatures, so I've heard. So with that in mind, Clay has tried to make his Trike be balanced to fight Rexes, but because Rexes are such giga-chads compared to all other creatures in the game, at least on the island, he's had to tone it back a little bit, so it won't be the most powerful herbivore, but it'll still be enough to take on big creatures. It's also worth mentioning that the reduced damage that Triceratopses take from their heads, it will take less on their heads than the rest of their body, that is amplified on Clay's Trike as well, so it takes even less damage, and therefore is again meant to be, you know, this big tank that can just fight head on, you know, this great big giant horns. And as a result of all this, the Trike saddle, the Clay Trike saddle, can be obtained at level 46, so quite a bit higher. So for our third one, we have Randi's tribal Compy. And immediately, right off the bat, we see that this one has these really cool tribal markings, so it's very stripy, which does make the colour regions a lot more interesting, especially compared to the original vanilla one. They have the same taming method as regular vanilla Compys, so you just knock them out to give them some prime meat. And they do have just overall slightly enhanced stats, so a little bit more health, a little bit more melee, a little bit slower torpor drain, along with having a high chance to spawn at higher levels. And also, if we actually, so my gecko on, if we actually pick up the Compy. So as you can see, the vanilla Compy just stares into the sky like an absolute idiot, as opposed to Randi's Compy, which actually is properly posed and it looks much more likeable, very much cuter. Now additionally, as you can see, it gives us access to the compass, so now we can just see at the top of the screen, you know, the direction of where we are, so that's quite handy, saves you opening the map constantly. And additionally, these even sniff out explorer notes. In fact, there's one right there. So just like the direwolf ability, these can detect explorer notes for you. It doesn't detect corpses or anything like that, so that is a direwolf exclusive thing. But again, good for the note run, very, very handy. And this buff also extends to all players who are near the companion Compy. Next up in my list is the Colossuscorpius, which is, you guessed it, a very big scorpion. And as you can see, this is a very, very big scorpion. Oh god, it's actually kind of terrifying up close. So, it's a big scorpion. It's not a lot more to say about its appearance. These are a regular knockout, just like their smaller cousins, and they'll take spoiled meat to tame up. And otherwise, oh hello, otherwise they can be found on Carnivore Island or Monster Island, as well as the mountains. And thankfully they're just about slow enough that you can comfortably outrun them. Oh god, I would be quite concerned because as you can imagine, their tail does still do the torpor attack. I gotta say, it's kind of adorable just hearing that it's got the same sounds as before. But yes, there you go. So that's a 150 taken down, and they take spoiled meat to tame up. Go ahead and just chuck that in there, and see how quickly that does it. Okay, as a fair warning, if you get a 150 on regular ×1 taming, it's going to be a slow tame. That is 3.9% just from a single bite. But there is our Colossuscorpius tamed up. Oh, and immediately getting attacked by a little smaller one there. Oh, there you go then, immediately doing its job, fantastic. So, this tamed up to have about 11,500 HP, and it did, I think it was like 140 damage just then to its little brethren. As for the saddles, there are two types of saddles for this. The first one is accessible level 22, with just hide, fibre and wood, and the platform saddle is accessible level 50 using paste, hide, metal ingots and fibre. And I believe that's actually the earliest platform saddle, is it? No, the same level as the Parasaur platform saddle, so I'm actually kind of glad about that. That's nice and balanced, if you will. So, as you can see, got a nice old platform saddle. And again, it's a giant scorpion. There's not really a lot more to say about this one. Although actually, strike that, it does attack with its pincers. Actually does really decent attack speed with its pincers. Right click will deal very big torpor. Did I just knock it out on the first try? Did it kill it? No, it just killed it. Okay. Yes. Right clicking will use its tail attack to inflict torpor. And what makes this quite significant is that by pressing C, you can actually pick creatures up. So it's just like a Kirkonos. Can I pick up more than one? No, it does seem to be just with the one pincer, I believe, unless another bind I'm missing. Oh, well, there goes my Compy. But otherwise, yeah. So it's like a nice little early Kirkonos with the benefit of having a platform saddle, which is really, really nice, actually. So what I want to find out then is, say we have this RG over here, or even just anything around here, actually. Yeah, let's go tag one of the cats. There you go. how much torpor does this actually do? Oh, it does a fair amount. That was just a single hit. Ooh. It does do quite a fair bit of damage though, so you have to be wary of that, and you have to be even more wary about accidentally headshotting your targets. Whoops. Oh, but, oh, actually, that bird is unconscious itself. Yeah, there we go then. So you can even use this as a taming companion. Oh god, look at that kerfuffle right there. Let's just attack everything, shall we? Oh, there you go. I just knocked out a Carno and a Scorpion immediately. Killed that cat. There goes another Carno. Oh. And there goes another Carno. Okay, so this is actually really nice just for knocking things out. It's a bit daft, but it works quite nicely. And now for our final mod of the day, we have Moro's buffed Tapejara. This mod causes a Mega Tapejara to have a chance to spawn in place of regular Tapejaras. They are tameable in the same method, and they are larger, stronger, faster, able to pick up larger dinos, and even have the diving ability while keeping their omnidirectional features, as we can see from this. So if you're, oh, that was a bit spicy. Anyway, so if you've been like missing the griffin or the snow owl, but you didn't want to quite get those just yet, this could be an alternative for you. Let's try that again. Yep, there you go, perfect, just exactly as you'd expect. It's cool how giant this is, and kind of comical, not gonna lie. Can I pick up a parasol? Sure can. So we give this a quick little comparison. Wow, okay, yes, it really is about the size of a Quetzal. My goodness. So here's, of course, a regular Tapejara compared to an Argentavus. Here's a Mega Tapejara compared to a Quetzal. So I think it's safe to say then, yeah, this is definitely going to carry the same things as a Quetzal. So that's a nice alternative for those who are not big fans of Quetzals, especially for their lack of speed, although you do like the platform saddle. Speaking of saddles, they only require the regular vanilla Tapejara saddle, so that means that this is obtainable at level 55, the same as a regular one. And for a quick little comparison of stats, this one here has about 2,000-ish HP, whereas this one's got about 8,500, compared to the Quetzal, which also has 8,500, although, yeah, there is a big point difference you want to bear that in mind, of course. Weight-wise, it is lower, but again, stat difference, so I think it might be safe to assume that the Mega Tapejara is about statted as that as a Quetzal, more or less. With the obvious benefit being that it is much, much faster, so do enjoy that. And that'll be it from me. I do hope that you found these mods fun, interesting, or even useful. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any recommendations for any more mods for me to check out, please do let me know. And otherwise, I'll catch you all next time. Take care and have a wonderful day.